Hi everyone, Walter Bowne here. I'm going to read to you a story that I loved reading to my girls when they were little. Diary of a Worm. All right, perhaps you keep a diary, or you will keep a diary of what you do during a day. There's that great Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This is by Doreen, Cronin, pictures by Harry Bliss. So we have a person who wrote the story. We have another person who took the story and made some really cool pictures. And happy 3rd birthday, Nancy. So my daughter Nancy, who's now 18, going to be 19 in like another couple weeks. We got this when she was 3. March 20th. Mom says there are 3 things I should always remember. Number 1, Earth gives us everything we need. That is absolutely true. The Earth does give us everything we need. Number 2, when we dig tunnels, we help take care of the Earth, making it breathe. And then the worm here, with his red hat, says, "Must make tunnel, help Earth breathe." Now, what's funny about a worm wearing a hat? It's just funny, right? It's like putting like a hat on a dog. It's not normal, and it looks funny. Number 3, never bother Daddy when he's eating the newspaper. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And that's funny because moms and dads, we read newspapers, but he's eating a newspaper because worms love newspaper. When I have extra newspapers from school, I bring them home and I put them in the worm composter. And man, they love it. March 29th. Today, I tried to teach Spider how to dig. Now, do spiders dig? Absolutely not. Worms dig. And a worm and a spider being friends? How can that be? How can 2 people, or how can 2 different species actually, be friends? Well, we can be friends with people who are different than us, of different religions and different races. Now, yeah, I'm making this into, something much bigger than a simple spider and worm, but that's the whole reason for this. We need to be friends and make connections with people who are very different from us, and that's totally cool. First of all, his legs got stuck. I think I've twisted one of my ankles. Yeah, he doesn't have 2 ankles, he has many ankles. And he's like, what? Then he swallowed a bunch of dirt. Oh boy, yeah, I give up. He's not going to be able to do what I can do. Tomorrow he's going to teach me how to walk upside down. Have you ever tried to teach someone how to do something really well and they don't, and they mess up? It's okay. They might not just know how to hit a baseball. You can, but they can't. They can do other things. April 1st. Worms cannot walk upside down. Yeah. Spider can walk upside down. He shoots out his filament like Spider-Man and rescues his friend who's still wearing his red hat. I always like to think this was a Phillies hat, because the Phillies have red hats. And of course, you see little things like this, like the ladybug. So a lot of little things in this picture going on in the country. April 4th. Fishing season started today. We all dig deeper, right? So people who fish love to get worms as bait for the fish because they wiggle and the fish see it and they grab it. So we have a little worm family down here to stay away from the shovel, right? I find worms all over my garden, and when I find them, I don't use them for bait. I put them in the worm composter. And here's Grandpa over here. That's funny. He's taking a nap. April 10th. It rained all night, and the ground was soaked. We spent the entire day on the sidewalk. Hopscotch is a very dangerous game. You know what I love about this story is the perspective. If you put your eyes to the ground and look up, the world seems very, very different. And here's a kid who's enjoying the sun, but you could be having fun, but somewhere down below could be someone who is getting a little, scared about hopscotch. It's beginning to rain a little bit. Maybe I can, hopefully I can finish this. April 15th. I forgot my lunch today. I got so hungry that I ate my homework. That's hilarious. Wouldn't you love to be able to eat your homework? My teacher made me write, "I will not eat my homework" 10 times. Teacher, come on. Never use writing as a punishment, teacher. Writing is cool. When I was finished, I ate that too. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. April 20th. I snuck up on some kids in the park today. They didn't hear me coming. Do you ever hear worms? We can't hear them. I wiggled up right between them, and they screamed. Right? Why would we want to do that? Why would the worm get pleasure out of making kids scream? Right? I don't know. I love when they do that. Look at his face. Right? There's a certain kind of pleasure in that. I don't know if it's right or not, but I don't know. It's just kind of like maybe worm nature, human nature. May 1st. Ooh, it's May Day. Grandpa taught us that good manners are very important. You know, listen to your grandma and grandpa, right? Oh, here's sister. We didn't meet her yet. So today I said good morning to the first ant I saw. Good morning. And here's an ant carrying a little crumb, but there's usually more than one ant, right? There were 600 more of them in a line. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. Nice to see you. Howdy, good morning. I stood there all day. That's very polite because he's taken his grandpa's advice and saying good morning to every single ant he sees. May 8th. Had the worst nightmare last night. Giant birds playing hopscotch. Kids playing hopscotch is one thing. Birds playing hopscotch, even more deadly because kids aren't going to want to eat you. Mom says I have to stop eating so much garbage right before I go to bed. Mom's giving advice again, just like don't, turn off the TV, turn off your iPad, you don't want to have all that, artificial light before you go to bed. May 15th. I got into a fight with Spider today. Oh no, friends fight sometimes. He told me you need legs to be cool. That's not true. Then he ran. I couldn't keep up. Maybe he's right. We get told things and we think we're stupid, but we're not actually stupid. They're just wrong. I made Spider laugh so hard, he fell out of his tree. Haha, who needs legs? Thud. Now, thud is an onomatopoeia word. It's like, ouch. Ooh. May 28th. Last night, I went to the school dance. That's cool. You put your head in, you put your head out, you do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around. No, you turn yourself about. That's all we could do. Because they don't have hands, they don't have legs to do the hokey pokey. That's funny. But you know what? If that's all you can do, love it. Enjoy it. June 5th. All right, we're getting into summertime here. Soon. Today we made macaroni necklaces in art class. You put your head in, wiggle, squirm, stretch. These are the notes, the objectives for the class. I brought mine home and we ate it for dinner. You're very talented. It's always nice when parents give compliments. And he's still wearing his red hat. June 15th. My older sister thinks she's so pretty. I told her that no matter how much time she spends looking in the mirror, her face will always look like her rear end. Now, that's teasing, right? She's like Narcissus here, looking at her self-reflection, right? A bit of a stereotype, girls looking in the mirror. But, it's funny. And as an older brother, probably even if you're an older sister, you may be teased your younger siblings. It's not right, but it's a fact of life, and we just have to apologize. But if you hold a spider, if you hold an ant, you have no idea. Or if you hold a worm, you have no idea what's the rear end and what's the front, unless you're like a specialist or a biologist and know these things. What is it, entomologist or something like that? Spider thought that was really funny. Mom did not. I was getting in trouble. As you should. June 4th. Oh, it's Independence Day. When I grow up, I want to be a Secret Service agent. Spider says I will have to be very careful because the president might step on me by mistake. Again, perspective, right? Here's like the president, and here are two Secret Service agents. It's a dangerous job, I told him, but somebody's got to do it. Think about all the dangerous jobs that we have in our society. Being a policeman, being a fireman, being a nurse, being a doctor, being a grocery store worker during this COVID. Very dangerous jobs. But you know what? Somebody's got to do it. June 28th. 3 things I don't like about being a worm. And there's probably 3 things you don't like about being where you are right now. But for a worm, it's number 1, I can't chew gum. Number 2, I can't have a dog. Can we keep him, Mom? And the mom's like, absolutely not. She's like frightened to death, right? Again, perspective. It's all about perspective. And number 3, all that homework, right? This is pretty cool though. He has homework on digging, soil, castings, worm casings, what they leave after they eat, what they poop out is what I use in the garden, and Compost 101. I should look up that book, Compost 101. July 29th. 3 good things about being a worm. Okay, there's some bad things, there's some things you don't like, but what are the things you do like? Number 1, I never have to go to the dentist. No cavities, no teeth either. And I just realized, reading this book again, that his name is Dr. Decay. I get now the pun, right? You get it? Decay, like your tooth decay. Number 2, I would love that. I hate going to the dentist. Number 2, I never get in trouble for tracking mud through the house. I get in trouble all the time for tracking mud through the house from the garden. So now I take off my shoes or my boots before I come into the house and track mud in that I have to sweep up. And number 3, I never have to take a bath. Who's my grubby little boy? Yeah, never have to take a bath. August 1st. It's not always easy being a worm. We're very small, and sometimes people forget we're even here. Wow. Think about that. Sometimes you might feel like no one notices you, and no one cares. But, so what do you do with that, right? But, like Mom always says, the earth never forgets we're here, right? So find your place in the world, understand your connection with nature, find your group, find your spider, say hi to people you don't know, like to the ants, and that's the message, because the earth never forgets we're here, and the opening of the book, and this is a framing device, it starts with the earth and ends with the earth, because this is our home, and we need to take great care of the earth. And what I love about some of these photographs here, that he's my sister's slumber party, my own comic, right? He put some stuff in a comic book. I kind of did this when I was little. When I was in middle school, I was like Molehill Man, and I was a rock star, and I would write books about being a rock star. My favorite pile of dirt. My mom and dad's anniversary, gross. What I love about this is that kids seeing their parents kiss might seem gross, but really it's a good model for kids to see parents being affectionate, because they still love each other. Right? They're still tender to each other. Little did I know that I'd actually be a worm composter. I look around here, I have a worm right here. See the worm? I'm gonna put him right here. And he's gonna make dirt. So the worms love eating stuff. And this stuff here had been like bananas and leaves and a bunch of different organic things. Lettuce. Now it's dirt. Worm casings. Compost. So worms are great for the garden.